Now to Bowling Green, where we heard from the lead investigators that interviewed Pike fraternity members in the hours after Stone Fultz was rushed to the hospital. Ariel Onstadt, she is live at the Wood County Courthouse. Ariel, what were the contentious moments that we're hearing about in the courtroom today?
Well, Jeff, some of the most contentious moments I've seen in the courtroom throughout the duration of that trial, and that happened earlier this morning when the state brought in Dr. Gregory Parks as its expert witness to testify to both hazing and as it relates to choice. Now, the defense protested this, both the declaration of Dr. Parks as a witness and the relevance of his testimony. Now, the judge ultimately saying that Dr. Parks could be an expert witness as far as the psychology of hazing, but not the legality of hazing. That distinction is important there. Now, the jury got to hear in the courtroom about Dr. Parks' expertise as he conducted research into hazing dynamics at Wake Forest University. Now, he was able to talk a little bit about the process and what his research showed. He says there's a power imbalance between active and new fraternity members. He suggested what actives require of new members to join, like cleaning or buying them food, can become a grooming process. Dr. Parks says based on his research, new members often feel they can do enough throughout the initiation process to make it on to the end of the initiation and becoming an active member. They say that once they've invested time, it can condition them to accept that more extreme behavior. Now, regarding new member educators, Dr. Parks testified they often don't tell new members details about events like Big Little Night because it could prevent them from reporting, or the new member may decide not to engage in those activities. Prosecutor Paul Dobson said it's been testified that new members didn't have to drink in order to join Pike and asked for the doctor's insight. Dr. Parks says it comes down to whether A, new members knew this, and B, believed this. Dr. Parks says the best way for a fraternity to convince new members they don't have to do whatever activity is on the table is to not hold that activity.
If drinking is the issue, nobody pinned me down and poured alcohol down my throat. If that did not happen, they might imagine then somehow I consented. They would know all the psychological dynamics that may propel them through the process that's outside of their either knowledge or conscious awareness, and so they may think the experience is one that's consensual.
Now, both defense attorneys put objections on the record to every single word that came out of Dr. Parks' mouth, their words, long objecting, of course, to the idea that the psychological pressure was too much for someone's choice to not be a factor in decision making. Him saying basically pressure's not enough to overcome someone's personal choice. The doctor said he didn't disagree. And now, as far as Shamansky was concerned, Krinn's defense attorney, he basically said that the doctor had never done any research with the subjects involved in this case, nor on BGSU's campus. Coming up at 6, you can hear more as investigators interviewed both Krinn and Henriksen as it relates to this trial. Reporting live, I'm Ariel Onstadt, WTOL 11.